Welcome everyone to this Twitter Spaces with Metis. I'm Matt from O3 Labs. We were just having some issues with Twitter Spaces, um, but
Matt, welcome aboard, man. I'm very happy to hear you.
yeah, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate being aboard. We're on the Metis ship together now. It's awesome, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love to hear it, man.
Yeah.
By the way, for those listening, I'm Jose. I do marketing and biz dev for the Metis team. And Matt here. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Right. Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm the communications director at O3 Labs. I also do marketing and biz dev stuff, mainly handling spokesperson duties, social media, and um, PR. So that's pretty much what my role entails. I'm trying to get some new users on board to O3 Swap, and try bridging some liquidity, some tokens over to the 11 chains that we now support. Um,
Well, you have a very fierce community listening to you right now, so you might get a few of them to try it out. By the way, I know that they're all really kind of eager to know a little bit more about O3 Labs. It's all being really fast. You all kind of came in and went through CEG, kind of like ticked all the check marks, kind of type of thing. So
yeah.
all the check boxes. So I was wondering, could you elaborate a little bit of what's O3 Labs, what you'll do, etc.
Sure, yeah, no problem. So, O3 Labs comes from the Neo community all the way back in 2017. For a long time, O3 Labs had the product that was the leading wallet in the Neo community back then. It's called O3 Wallet. We still have that product, but we moved to Ethereum in 2021 with our cross chain aggregation protocol. So basically, now we are cross chain DEX and we have a cross chain wallet. So if users want to bridge or swap tokens across the 11 EVM compatible blockchains that we support, they're free to do that. It's convenient, user friendly. Users can stake with our cross chain liquidity mining to earn O3 tokens. I'm really excited about the O3 cross chain wallet, and very soon we will be having a cross chain NFT bridge as we expect GameFi, DeFi, and of course Metaverse to continue to blow up. And there's going to be some unexpected demand when it comes to NFTs going cross chain, and we're super excited to have that product uh, revealed within the next few weeks.
Sounds very, very, very exciting. You said right now you have the decks and kind of like the bridge, and as of the next 2 weeks, which is coming out, the NFT feature or which one? You got me a little bit lost here.
Yeah. So currently the cross chain DEX is already out. Users can go ahead and try that out. Connect with their MetaMask wallets at o3swap.com. Cross chain DEX is ready. So what you can do with the cross chain DEX is both swap and bridge across chains, which is unique in that in most cross chain protocols, all you can do is bridge, which means you can do same asset on one chain to the same asset on another chain. Think Ethereum on, I don't know, BNB chain to Ethereum on Metis chain. But basically, with our swap module on o3swap.com, you can do Ethereum for Metis on Metis chain in one fell swoop, in one transaction, thus saving you on gas fees and time. We've also got the O3 gas station. If you have some tokens on one chain and you need a gas token on another chain, you can just swap that directly without going to a centralized exchange. Completely decentralized swapping, uh, but across chains. That's what we're doing now. In the very near future, in the next few weeks, we will be releasing our NFT cross chain platform, which it doesn't have a lot of demand now, but as NFTs, metaverse, GameFi continues to grow and expand, we expect that NFTs are going to be crossing chains. There's going to be some different safety protocols for the valuable NFTs, and it's going to take place on different chains. And we are going to be ready to assume market leader in that market when it emerges. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. Like this sounds amazing, and especially kind of like the NFT part. You say that right now there is I don't remember if you use the word demand or hype around it, but I kind of like I agree and disagree a little bit on that sense. In the aspect of, for example, profile picture NFTs, maybe there's been kind of like a slowdown, but in terms of NFT usage, we're seeing a lot of kind of like new usages and NFTs kind of like coming up as the actual kind of like I think it hasn't really started yet. You know, I think we're gonna see a lot more demand, a lot more kind of like hype around NFTs. Maybe not profile picture NFTs, but NFTs as a whole, absolutely. And I was wondering, you touched on a very kind of like you used a very interesting word, kind of like the safety protocols that you're going to be using for the blue chip NFTs. I was wondering, could you elaborate on what have been the challenges of these kind of like cross chain swap, cross chain decks? Because I'm like, the concept is fascinating. I love it. And like you said, it's super efficient. But I'm also very interested on what have been the challenges because I bet it has been really hard to kind of like develop such a platform, you know?
Right. Yeah. So the biggest challenge is the security. Cross chain is very vulnerable to exploits because it's connecting to so many different networks. There really needs to be thorough security checks, both in terms of audits, which we have done, and in real time, which we are also doing, where we are looking at the smart contracts in real time to make sure that there are no bad actors looking to drain the pools, going to Tornado Cash, doing some shady stuff by deploying their own smart contracts that interact with ours. So the more complex a cross-chain protocol or a cross-chain system is, the more vulnerable it is to attack, and that's one of the biggest conflicts that we've faced. We've had to both do multiple audits. We've done one audit. We're in the middle of another now, and as we're doing this, we also have to keep an eye on our smart contracts ourselves. We're also working with another company to get us another set of eyes on our smart contracts in real time. And of course, we got to partner with the White Hat hackers and do a bug bounty, which we will be doing. We'll be opening a $400,000 bug bounty, and that's the main challenge. Is when you're doing these type of cross chain transactions in a decentralized manner, trying to keep users' funds safe is the number one priority. Um, and when you do that in a decentralized manner, it's way safer than centralized finance because the users have the ability to withdraw their money from the liquidity pools at any time, unlike centralized finance where you don't have your keys, you don't have your coins. They could pause withdrawals. They could suffer a hack, and you have no way out. There's security in place for decentralized finance, but it has to be done thoroughly and it has to be done thoughtfully.
Absolutely. And also, kind of like in the last few months specifically, DeFi has been proven way superior than CeFi. You know, like we've seen already that decentralized is the way. All these centralized platforms, centralized finance that we were seeing, like I'm not going to name any, but we've seen a lot of kind of like blow ups, and we didn't see this in DeFi. Like all the DeFi platforms, like we can look at Aave, Maker, Compound, they all like lending platforms handled it pretty good. And Dexes don't really face that risk that we saw all these kind of like CeFi platforms that like I said, I won't name. But I love how O3 Labs is focusing on security. I love especially kind of like the white hacker bug bounty and the multiple audits because that's key. like we've been like through our piece of experience as well in that sense, and we are also kind of like really careful with who we kind of like who our builders are, like the like kind of like the security in our contracts for all of our partners to be really kind of like audited. So we like that's one of the things that we love from you all, kind of like the focus on security and the like pivoting a little bit from kind of like the security aspect. I was also looking at the O3 DAO. I don't know if you want to kind of like elaborate a little bit on that. I think that's kind of like very interesting. Will you mind?
No, no, I don't mind. We just had a presentation in the office about the DAO. Um, at the very beginning of the O3 DAO, because we want to give users a chance to interact with our devs and interact with our community without the DAO being too complex and too difficult to understand. Our DAO is going to be really simple at the beginning, not too complex and not too decentralized. We think that a centralized DAO to begin is the best way for users to be able to make proposals and to vote and to work with our devs to actually make the product better. So we will be using Snapshot, it seems. And as for the specific details, uh, I I don't have the proposal in front of me, nor is the proposal concrete, but users will be able to uh, use O3 as the voting token in order to make proposals, make changes to perhaps the yields for liquidity mining on our platform, uh, help us decide which is the next EVM compatible chains we're going to launch on. Uh, if they have a proposal for marketing, like another organization, they can also make that proposal within our DAO. All these types of things will be able to vote on, and it will be very simple. Some comparisons come to mind, like Spooky Swap's DAO. I don't know if you're familiar. Um, Metis' DAO, yeah, is also very similar. So if you guys like Metis' DAO, you guys are gonna like O3's DAO when it launches later on in Q3 or early Q4. And we just believe that our protocol is already very powerful, and we just need help from the community in order to decide the direction that the protocol is going to take, both in terms of building it out, in terms of marketing, and in terms of benefiting the users the most. Because that's really what O3 Swap and the O3 DAO is going to seek to do: is benefit the users, benefit the holders of O3 maximally.
Love it, love it. That's kind of like that's the goal for all of us. Also, kind of like benefit the user, bring the user like a better UX overall, and make them enjoy the process. You know, kind of like
Yeah.
make a
And
seamless experience.
yeah, and I just want to thank everyone here. If you guys voted for O3 to work with Metis in the Metis DAO, you guys were participating in a democratized, autonomous organization in Metis, and that's basically why I'm here. Is because everyone in the Metis community voted for me to be here, and thus everyone got a chance. And I think it was like 99% voted for O3 to work with Metis. It was overwhelming support for O3 Swap, and that's the sort of community that we're seeking to build over in our Discord, on our Twitter. We're doing airdrops regularly, giving back to the community during the bear market. But we definitely want to hear from the voices within DeFi and within our community, the holders of O3 Swap token, and that's what our DAO is going to accomplish.
Love it, man. Like, I mean, I was gonna ask you, like, I was gonna kind of like ask you why Metis, but you already kind of like answered a little bit on that. Like, you like the decentralization, kind of like the DAO, and I mean, you're talking about how overwhelmingly kind of like encouraging was the community. You know, kind of like welcoming. I don't know if you have anything else to say, maybe, or that's pretty much kind of like what you would say you like the most about Metis, kind of like and why Metis.
Yeah, well, it's decentralized, it's fast, its fees are some of the lowest. It's gonna scale like crazy during the next bull market. The potential for the coin and the last all-time high, what is like 5x? That's just from a price perspective, but the tech is just off the charts. So in terms of Ethereum layer 2 scaling solutions, and in terms of like the EVM compatible layer ones, Metis was really one of the front runners and a no brainer. That I mean, that's not even considering your awesome community. I mean, look at the draw for this Twitter Spaces. It's packed in here. It's dope. Metis is gonna grow like wildfire, man. You know, all consuming. I'm
Love
super excited to work with Metis.
love it. We're super excited to work with y'all, man. I was like, I mean, on
How
my side,
how do
like
you get into Metis?
me, oof.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's like I started. I had another. Ooh, my bad. Can you hear me now? I was getting a call. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. I can hear you
So I
fine.
used to have a TradFi job, like not super long ago, and I was very into Web3. Like I was kind of like working in TradFi, but very like doing a lot of research on Web3, very active, and even kind of like in some Latin American communities, kind of like helping to spread some of that kind of like the good word on Web3, you know. And eventually, I started going into Ethereum, kind of like doing a lot of research on Ethereum, ended up going into L2s. And I mean, if you go into L2s, there's no way you do not run into Metis. And once I started doing kind of like, I'm the type of person that before I start playing with the DApp, I go to the docs. First thing I do, I always go straight to the docs. And I started reading about Metis and I was just like, holy, the white paper, I think it's sensational for anyone that hasn't read it so far. Go do it. I would highly suggest it. It's on our webpage, metis.io. And yeah, I started writing hella content on Metis, and after several educational threads, it's like a lot of content published. The team kind of like started getting in touch with me. One thing led to another, and now I'm here with you, Matt. That's the story.
Yeah, yeah, I guess for those who are uninitiated in DeFi, that's how it gets started, right? It's similar to contributing to the DAO, contribute to the community, and the team members take notice and they want to
No,
hire you. If you got
that's absolutely
yeah,
the way it is. So how do you start? Like, how do you get to O3 Labs?
yeah, it's not that long of a story. I was traveling abroad, and I'm from the U.S., but I was working abroad in Asia as a teacher. I used to work for in a stuffy office in a software company in the States, and I got tired of it. I couldn't work in the office anymore. My back hurt. I couldn't sit all day, basically, and I wanted to explore the world. So I took a job teaching English in Asia, um, and I was traveling, and I wanted to send money home to America. I had saved some money from teaching, and I wanted to send that money home. I actually had student loans to pay from my time in America, and I I went to a bank and they were asking me why I was sending money out of the country, and I told them like I want to pay student loans. I shit you not, the person turned white like a ghost, and she said like there's cameras, like we're not going to let you send the money home. I was like, what? I laughed my way out of the bank. I was so stunned by this response I got for just trying to send my own money to another bank account that I own. Like, what? It's like moving your money from your left pocket to your right pocket, and the bank wasn't going to let me do it. So I went home. I believe this was uh, late 2018, and I bought Bitcoin. I still had a Coinbase account in America. Bitcoin at the time was like $3,000, and I caught like the bottom of the cycle, and I, I only bought $1,000 of Bitcoin, but at that time that was like, 1/3 of a Bitcoin, 0.33 Bitcoin, and then I was watching it. It literally got me back into the whole crypto space. I had taken a break for a while, and went parabolic. I was watching it. I was DCAing every month with like my English teacher payments, and my friend had me go to some like Bitcoin meetup here in Asia, and I met my boss, and he was telling me I bought too many shit coins. I don't know anything about DeFi. I was telling him like, hold on now, I'm doing pretty well with my Cardano and with my XRP, and he was like, those are centralized coins. Like nobody likes those communities, and we were arguing, and we came to be friends, my boss and I, and um, he needed help, um, starting his company, and he needed a spokesperson, and he wanted to teach me. He basically took me on as like my mentor, and yeah, I've been learning about DeFi ever since. It's been a year now, and he was right. I definitely owned a bunch of shit coins, and I definitely dumped them before it was too late, and before things got bad for my finances. But yeah, it all started with being frustrated with banks and seeing that there were ways to send money abroad and overseas without ever touching a bank or going through a bank, and their oppressive rates.
I,
We have,
I,
yeah.
I gotta say that this was a sensational story. I'm pretty sure the whole audience agrees with me. I've been seeing a lot of hearts, a lot of laughing faces. So like yeah, like definitely like everyone's liking the story. I was I was wondering like before can I we get some of the audience up here because I'm seeing some of them want to ask some questions. They might have some doubts that they want to clarify. Do you, Matt, have any doubts about Metis? Kind of like that you might want to clarify before we move on. I've asked you a lot of questions about all three labs, kind of like it. So I don't know if there's any doubts you might have.
Uh, to be honest, I would like to know more about the dApps on the chain. I'm not too familiar with the ecosystem. O3 Labs is now launching. We launched on Metis a couple weeks ago, and we want to know sort of about the community. Like what's the largest DEX? Like where? Well, like I can even ask this to the community here too. Is where do people go to hang out on Metis, and like what are the best dApps and protocols?
Well, like to be honest, I couldn't, like I literally cannot answer what's the best kind of like the protocol or etc. I would say you can definitely start by looking at our CG verified projects. Like we give our community always the last vote. Kind of like we bring the tech, but they make the calls. So we have our CG we have our CG process, which is pretty much decentralizing kind of like the ecosystem and giving the community a voice so they can decide which projects they want to see kind of like uh, highly like collaborating a lot with Metis Foundation, etc., or what projects they don't really want to see or don't think like should be collaborating with us. As you could see, I mean, O3 Labs is definitely in that list. Like people love you, like you said, 99% yes. So that's a no-brainer. I don't want to sit here and start like naming maybe like naming all the apps. I can definitely tell you that we like through right now we have Metis Marathon. Metis Marathon is pretty much kind of like a builder incentive program which we launched pretty like not long ago. It was just like what maybe a few weeks ago, and we just got Sushi as one of the big dexes. We also have Homos as one of the stable swaps. You can look at Hera Finance as one of our liquidity aggregators, like our DEX aggregators. We have a very kind of like we have NFT marketplaces in the ecosystem. We have oracles, kind of like networks. We have pretty much whatever you're looking for as of right now. There's a few other things like whatever you think we don't have, it's most probably coming sooner than later. But I don't know if you have any question a little bit more kind of like objective, not yeah, objective instead of subjective, kind of like instead of my opinion.
I would like to turn the question on you and see if do you have any doubts about the Metis chain, about the ecosystem. Also, would you mind telling me what are those NFT platforms for buying and selling NFTs on Metis?
Like if I'm confident in Metis, oof, like what Metis is building as of right now, I think it's sensational because they already pretty much like patched the interim between now and Ethereum sharding. Once Ethereum sharding goes live, like all the optimistic rollups are going to be able to process up to 100,000 transactions per second, including Metis, because Metis eventually is going to go
Phew.
back to be a pure rollup. But in the meantime, we are not even having to wait till sharding because our smart L2 architecture allow us to bring fees like down. I mean, we cannot process that many transactions right now, but we were able to cut the fees the same way as other L2s are going to be able to cut them whenever sharding goes live. How are we able to do this? Because regular optimism rollups, like optimistic rollups, what they do, they post the whole transaction data with the Merkle tree root, state root, and everything in L1. So this is ideal, but this is very costly. So Metis took a different approach, a little bit more innovative. And what did they do? Instead of posting the whole data, which is expensive, in L1, they post the Merkle tree root and state root. You can think of them as an identifier tag, and the rest of the data posted in Memolabs. So with this identifier tag, you can retrieve the whole transaction data from Memolabs at any point, and even if there was any type of malicious action from the sequencer or trying to censor any type of transaction, like the L1 validator would be able to pretty much oblige the sequencer to post the data on L1. So pretty much it can force the data to be posted completely on L1. So the only trade-off that we're seeing is not on the security side, but on the cost side. So we're being able to bring transaction fees super low without even compromising security. But the only thing that we will be compromising in case of a malicious action or any type of attempt of an exploit would be short-term costs. And I think that's as innovative as you can get and as forward kind of like looking as you can get. On terms of what NFT platforms we have, I mean, we have Tofu right now. We used to have a
Okay, yeah, I've heard of Tofu. Dope
yeah,
name, by the way.
yeah. We also have a few more coming in like really soon, and we have actually we even have some native dApps that have plans to release some NFTs, like some very interesting NFT features in the near future. So you might want to kind of like keep an eye on that.
How do I learn about the Metis community, like all the projects in the community? Is there some window where I can see all of the native projects and all of the cross-chain projects?
Yeah, definitely. You can go into our website and go and check out all our projects and CG verified projects as well. And if you kind of like really want to get into our community, we have a very active Telegram channel, and we have a not too old, kind of like a pretty recent Discord channel as well, which has been popping lately. I would highly suggest everyone in these Twitter Spaces to go join.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, maybe we O3 Labs can hop into the Telegram directly. Uh, just to, I guess, talk a little bit about what O3 Labs can bring to Metis. Um, it like we can be a window of liquidity from all other chains into Metis. So what we usually do is if there's a lot of cross chain projects on a particular blockchain, we reach out to them to open up pools on our platform, and those pools are strictly for tokens be able to cross chains in a decentralized way, in a transparent way, without compromising a project's security. So, like you were mentioning, that SushiSwap is opening up their DEX on the Metis blockchain. So the Sushi token might be a target for our biz devs in order to open up cross-chain pools. And what users can do is they can stake that Sushi token. If we did open up a pool for Sushi, which I imagine we will, once we open up that pool, they would be able to stake that Sushi token, or conversely, a substitution token created by the protocol for cross-chain transactions to take place. And if they staked either of those tokens in our pools, they would be able to earn O3 token. And so that's sort of why I asked you about the Metis community and the different projects that are already on your scalable layer 2 blockchain. And I also wanted to add that, yeah, I've seen the fees on Metis. Incredible what you guys are doing in terms of making the blockchain accessible to non oligarchs, non rich people. Yeah, it's really scalable.
Yeah, we call it the blockchain for the people. Like we're pretty, like that's what we are. That's like we're for the people and for the builders. Like that's one of the reasons why we're also migrating soon to a like no coin governance. We're gonna start using our matrix reputation power, which is like it's one of the pioneer projects that is going into social identity through non-transferable NFTs. It's gonna be a very interesting transition because instead of giving kind of like the pretty much the whales and the only kind of like investors thinking about money the power to make all the decisions in the ecosystem, we're gonna give the decision also to people that have skin in the game, that have been actually working in the ecosystem, that have been creating, kind of like building, you know. And
Yeah,
that's what everyone wants. Like we want to give our like our community, our ecosystem, our builders a voice. So another thing that I wanted to say, like we're always open to what you were just saying. Like we love it, kind of like that interconnection of projects, kind of like projects collaborating with each other inside our ecosystem, because that's what really ends up bringing innovation, like among other things, and what actually like makes an ecosystem great. You know, all that synergy between the different protocols and being able to offer better products.
yeah, absolutely. Which is why I myself swapped some Polygon for Metis in the last week. I think you guys are definitely poised to grow, um, not just from a price perspective, but also from a community perspective. And that's really where the value comes, is from the community, growing the community, giving them a voice, and word of mouth travels. If one community member is happy, he or she is gonna bring three of his or her friends along with them for the ride, and that's really when you get a network effect, which clearly Metis is achieving all on its own.
Yeah, love it, love it. I think our community is happy. I think they're pretty happy right now. And I was also wondering, is anyone from our community trying to come up? I see emoji meta like making line for coming up. If anyone else has any doubts, any questions that you want to make, feel free to request the mic and come on stage to ask any questions.
Yeah, guys,
So,
feel free to come chat with us. Don't be shy.
okay, emoji meta, I'm gonna give you the mic. Come.
Emoji Meta. That's a name. That's a name
And
built to be sold.
Zero X Jam is coming next. So you got the stage, emoji meta. You got the floor, man.
Did you?
Are you there?
He's got mic capabilities. Yeah, I can't even see him on my screen.
Emoji. I got him as a speaker right now, but cannot hear him. Ah, emoji. Hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to take you out as a speaker, and you can try to like you can please request the mic again, and I'll get you back on. But I'm going with Zero X Gems right now. You got the floor, my man. But you are muted.
Okay.
Feel free to unmute your screen.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Good day.
Good day, my
Yeah.
friend.
How you doing?
Good day.
Okay. Actually, a question. I actually appreciate this opportunity to actually come up to talk. Yeah. My question go through all three labs. Yeah. I just got to check your website today, and I noticed. Actually, I'm not even aware you are on Metis ecosystem recently. Yeah. The question is this. Yeah. Recently we've been having issues related to thefts and theft of people's assets and the likes. Yeah, how are you guys planning to up your game in terms of security? Because I know the security of assets is one major thing we need to consider. Even for the fact that you are going into it on Q2, I think on your roadmap, you're talking about introducing the cross-chain utility. I know you are planning on doing that. You are on that already. So at this point now, you are becoming more vulnerable to I don't know how to say it, but at this point where cross-chain is coming into your game, you are becoming more vulnerable, and I think it's more easy to get exploited on cross-chain. Yeah, most cross-chain protocols are getting exploited. You are a witness. You've seen a lot of that. And you made mention of having a bounty. Is it that it's being limited to some certain okay to a period of time, and at the point you stop doing this bounty, bounty keep you guys in track. You'll be able to find loopholes in your project, and security is tight. Are you going to do this continuously, or you're going to stop at some point in time? Do you get it? Are you getting my question?
Yeah, I understand your question fully, and I can answer with confidence that we are doing everything we can to ensure the security of our liquidity pools. As we know, if that security is exploited or compromised by a bad actor, then that would essentially mean the end of our reputation within the cross-chain industry, and the high likelihood that nobody would use our project again. So those are the stakes that a cross-chain protocol faces. I will say that the only liquidity or tokens that are at risk when you use our protocol would be within those cross-chain liquidity pools that are deployed on several different blockchains. There is a design security measure in place. So if a hacker wanted to attack those chains, they would have to deploy smart contracts on all of those different blockchains and have knowledge of all of the different uh, nodes and how to attack them from many different angles, which is difficult to begin with. We've also been audited by Peck Shield, and we're currently undergoing audit by Certic, one of the top blockchain security firms in the space. So that would bring us to two audits. That's two sets of eyes on our smart contracts, on our code. We're also working with Immunify on the bug bounty. There's going to be $400,000 bug bounty. So we're going to encourage the hackers to work with us and work for us as white hat hackers. That's really the way to keep hackers on your side instead of on the other side, is to pay them and to recognize them for the work that they're doing, instead of being greedy and not giving back to the developer, hacker, security community. On another note, we're going to be working with Forta. Forta does real-time smart contract security, and we're going to have yet another security firm, third party, create scripts so that we can create a dashboard with eyes on all of our smart contracts on all of the chains in real time. So our developers will be able to monitor the smart contracts and the protocol every minute of the day, in a way that's friendly to them, that they can see everything that's going on in real time. And that's in addition to the real time smart contract monitoring that our developers are also doing. So we're doing everything we can to cover the security base. But I do want to add that the only thing at risk is the pools. We also do swap aggregation, where we aggregate liquidity from the top dexes on each blockchain that we support. If you're swapping as a user from one chain to another using the swap module on o3swap.com, there is no risk that your funds can be compromised or exploited because you're swapping in a decentralized way. We never have custody of any of those tokens. Even in the pools, we don't have custody of any of those tokens, and we don't have the rights to move them at all. We had a funny story. We had an old product, O3Swap version 1, and we still have $3 million in liquidity in those pools, even though the users in those pools are earning 0%, 0% APR. We can't even move those tokens because we don't have the rights, even though we would like to move them to the new solution so users can get yield on those tokens. We don't even have the rights to move them. We can't even contact the users to move them. So users will always have the right to their tokens, and that includes the right to ignore their tokens if they don't want to touch it, if they left the crypto space. That's their right, and we can't do anything with the tokens, and that's the power of DeFi.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That's big ups on your hand. I love the fact that most of the things I actually want to even ask you, I've actually explained them with in summary. You explain a lot of them. Okay, that's nice. You're talking
James,
about getting.
Ja-
Okay, are you? Yeah,
James,
bro.
I hate to interrupt you, my friend. I think like I gotta get Tommy L and Emoji Meta
Okay, no
and
problem.
Crypto Tour before you come back again, my friend.
No problem.
Please.
I'm still here, bro. I'm
Jam,
still here. Thank you.
Jam, thank you for your question. You got to try a swap. There's actually absolutely no risk to swap on
Okay,
o3swap.com. The only risk
okay,
is for staking in the pools. That's the only risk.
understood. Metis,
Okay,
I'm still coming back to you, bro. I'm still with you, from.
I'm bringing Tommy L onto stage.
Yeah, can you hear me? Greetings,
Yeah,
everyone.
how's it going, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's up,
yeah,
Tommy?
I'm okay. Yeah, greetings to Metis and O3 Lab. So, I wanted to just ask, so how do I interact? Because I'm getting a lot of alphas from the Metis ecosystem. It's actually booming right now because I think there's a whole lot of things going on there, and I noticed like liquidity is just flowing into Metis right now. So I don't want to be late. So I want to be like I want to try and participate early. So I want to know how to if there's any Discord that I can actually like pin the Discord to this so I can get in. Ready to pair. Also, I want to know how to like go about the swaps, the interactions so that I don't miss out on anything in the long run. So I'm just like I'm actually a newbie, got onboarded recently, so I don't know if I'll get any help through maybe Discord or yeah, so I want to interact with the Metis ecosystem. So I'm doing some research on like Velo. I saw some money moving into optimism and the rest. So I actually want to interact. So I don't know if I can get any guidance. So thank you for putting up this space.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we actually do have communities. We have our Telegram channel, which is pretty active, and our Discord channel, which is relatively new and is very active as well. In our Discord channel, we have a traders chat that you might enjoy since that's kind of like what you're looking for. In terms of swaps, I mean, we're talking with O3 Labs, baby. They are cross-chain swaps. In terms of native swaps, we also have some native exchanges like NetSwap, TTs, Hermits, etc. But yeah, man, like feel free to join our communities. O3 Labs. I don't know if you have also kind of like a Telegram channel or Discord that you want to kind of like recommend.
Yeah, we've got the Discord. If you click on my O3 Labs Twitter profile here, the Discord is linked in my bio. Join it up. Yeah, well, in terms of becoming a newbie, getting into DeFi, I recommend trying out the O3 cross-chain wallet. It's available on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. You know, as for you, if you guys want to download that, I would personally send you some O3 coins to get started. To be honest, you can contact me directly here. But if not, also MetaMask is a great option. And yeah, we connect all of the different EVM compatible blockchains. You mentioned Optimism. We're on Optimism too. Metis. We're on a bunch of different blockchains, and we're basically like a liquidity window to flow in and out and across those blockchains. And that's really the power of O3 Swap. Yeah, you can try some swaps today if you've got some tokens already, or conversely, get some tokens and try some swaps. Yeah.
What a chat. Well, you already know it, guys. If you need some tokens to swap, you can message him directly to him profile. So okay, I'm gonna get emoji meta up here. Okay, second time's the charm. Let's try to get it, man.
Thanks for your question, Tommy.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Thanks a lot for participating.
Yeah,
Coming
thank
up
you.
stage.
Thank you very much.
Emoji, go ahead. Let's see if I can hear you.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I got a question about NFTs. Do you guys think NFT cross-chain products will coming out soon in the future?
Well,
O3?
I know for a fact our NFT cross-chain solution is going to be coming out very soon in the future. So yeah, I know they are going to be coming out. Here at O3 Labs, we do everything cross-chain. We believe in a multi-chain future. We don't believe there's going to be one big winner who remains king for long. This is a competition, as with anything in business. Like Apple and Microsoft, Twitter, Facebook. The people are battling to be the best, and that battle is going to continue. And that's why here at O3 we believe in a cross-chain future, and we've seen lots of Web3 projects going cross-chain, and that includes with their NFTs, DeFi. Having a DEX on multiple chains is something we see very often now. So I think that at this point, NFTs are in big demand, and people love NFTs. It gets newbies into the DeFi community at a rate, way faster than numbers or talking about the speed of the protocol or the speed of the blockchain. It's very simple for users. Buying and selling images is interesting, and seeing that value really snowball. So, but that
Matt,
demand is there. Yeah.
Matt, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but just kind of like giving a little heads up. We got 4 more minutes until the hour. So I want to say, I want to bring, like, after you finish there, I want to bring up real quick Crypto Turkey. I want to bring the pharmacist real quick because I see he's very excited, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do Joey before and Matt, and that's where we're going to close. So
Okay.
yeah, you can
Well,
go ahead.
we can go over time if you want. I mean, I don't mind.
Okay, perfect. Then you're on luck, guys. Joy before and Matt are gonna be the last two.
Yeah.
So okay.
So emoji meta. In short, cross-chain NFTs are going to be a thing no matter what O3 Labs does. But we want to ensure that we're the market leader in cross-chain NFTs.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to bring Crypto Turkey up right now. Emoji Meta, thanks for your question and thanks for bearing with us. I know that you were over here like the first, and you ended up asking your question like fifth. So thank you for being patient, man. And yeah, your turn. You have the floor, Crypto Turkey.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Metis, real quick. It's good to. Uh, I think you have a Spanish accent. You probably speak Spanish, but it's good to hear. If you do, it's good to hear, and if not, it's still good to hear uh, uh, some international voice. But
Yes, sir. I do.
eso mero bueno. So no, but my question, I had been eyeing Metis for a while, and I'll, it's gonna lead to O3 Labs. I had been eyeing Metis for a little while, and then just recently started, picking some up, and it caught my eye before the bear market and whatnot. And so I'm excited to finally get into Metis. And then to O3 Labs, you were talking about. My initial question was if you were just going to stay on Metis, but you kind of answered that you guys are also on Optimism. Is there any thoughts about reaching other blockchains? I don't know which other ones you guys are on, since today's the first time I've heard of you guys, so I haven't done any of my research. But you guys branching out to Avalanche, and also you talked about cross chain NFTs, and Potluck Potluck Protocol has started doing that with Layer Zero Labs, and it has definitely been an interesting, really fun experience. So the fact that you guys are also going to try and implement that, I think is definitely going to help out the space.
Yeah. So let me address the first question. We are on 11 different EVM compatible blockchains: Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Avalanche, Optimism, Arbitrum, Metis. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe Metis, and now Celo. So yeah. Go ahead, host.
No, yeah, I was gonna say yes, sir. Metis, like you pronounce it like right,
Okay.
perfectly.
Yeah. So we are a cross-chain protocol that's really at the core of O3 Labs. We can bridge tokens across chains with ease, with one swap, one gas fee, one click of the button. Really, that's really our bread and butter. As for cross-chain NFTs, that's interesting. You're telling me about Potluck Protocol and Layer Zero. I did not hear about that, but our smart contracts for the cross-chain NFT platform have already been coded out. I know because I'm responsible for getting them audited right now. So the only thing that's still in the works is our front end and all of the screens for we're calling it the NFT shuttle, because you're going to be shuttling your NFT across chains. And why would you shuttle your NFT across chains? We think that there's going to be, and there already is, protocols where you um, can lock your NFT into a smart contract and get a loan for some of the money that the NFT is worth without selling your NFT because you think your NFT might go up in value. That's one of the main utilities for cross-chain NFTs right now, is to avoid those high Ethereum gas fees, and bridge to another chain, do some type of NFT loaning protocol where you lock up your NFT if it's super expensive, and get some liquidity or capital without selling your valuable NFT that you're attached to.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Yeah, they currently do it between Phantom and Avalanche, but it's no. I really appreciate the information. Thanks for your time, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much. We're also on Phantom. I think I forgot to mention the Phantom blockchain. I love the Phantom blockchain.
I'm actually a fan of Phantom as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
Crypto Turkey, thanks for asking. Thanks for your question. Let's bring the pharmacist up real quick. You got the floor, pharmacist.
The
Yo, yo,
pharmacist is a
yo.
cool name.
Good day, guys. I was actually really excited, Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to actually talk to O3 Labs. Like, building a cross-chain platform right now is very much needed, Like, I know there are a lot of flaws, like, a lot of hacking and all the rest, but the cross-chain platform is actually something the Web3 actually needs, Like, if we look at the Web 2, for example, when you look at Google, look at all the search engine and different apps, they actually came to actually cross across each other. Like you can actually just log in your Facebook from even different apps. Like you don't even have to actually go to Facebook itself. You can actually log in what they call it. You can actually use your Google account across platforms, things like that. So I think the interoperability function is going to be a really big deal for us to act for. It's going to be a very big tech for the Web3 as a whole. Like it's very very important. Like all these chains should be able to connect to each other. You should be able to connect Ethereum, BSC, Metis, Optimism, each and every one of them. You should be able to like cross your NFTs to different platform as you wish. I think that's a very cool function that the O3 Labs actually have. And I think I heard some. I wasn't actually on. I was listening, but when they say the hacker, I just tweeted something about that. Yeah, I think bringing the hackers close is actually also something. Is actually something. Like we shouldn't just be like, yo, hackers are bad. This, that. No, they actually it's also healthy and bad for the market. I tweeted something just now after listening to that. I want to also be a hacker. If I could learn it, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna learn. I want to learn. I promise you, bro. I'm not capping on God. So yeah, I really love how the ecosystem is growing. And I read something a few days back about CZ, when CZ was like, okay, yeah, early last year in 2021, they only had about 20 million users. About 20 million users. You understand? And coming to this year, I think the interview was recently. Maybe you watched it or something. He was like, yeah, they've onboarded over 120 million people. Like it's verified accounts on Binance, and they are all trading. So that's a huge plus. So anybody out here right now, actually, yeah, let's say you're low on portfolio, you shouldn't just give up. You should actually, still stick around. Platform like Metis, it's still really really cheap. Like I know they actually, I invested at the top. I invested around 120. I invested around 120, but this is still like 120 is still like the bottom of bottoms. You understand? There's always process. I've been investing since 2018 myself personally. Just personally, I just started coming out by myself around this year. So I believe that Metis actually has a very long, it has a very long way to go. Like I think at the all-time high, it never reached even $1 billion. So we still have a lot of milestone to actually go. Especially looking at the influx of people actually coming into the crypto space right now. It's gonna actually, people are getting onboarded on different different chains, different chains. And one thing I also want to tell act and tell MetisDAO is you should also like try as much as possible to create accessibility. Like what I mean by accessibility, we know we want to be decentralized, but before you can get bought decentralized, you actually need to actually go through a decentralized exchange, except you have someone who's going to be selling you the token directly. So you should actually create the access for people to be able to buy on different centralized exchanges in different regions, because that would actually like, okay, yeah, I see Metis on the there's an Indian app. They'll just, okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, I see Metis on Coinbase, I see Metis on Binance, I see Metis. You just buy those things, so it actually creates more volume, more like accessibility, like I said. So things like that. I like what they're building. I like what they're building, and spaces like this actually draw the community closer. I really do appreciate. Big love to everybody, and yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. I hope I didn't talk too much. Big love to O3 Labs.
Yeah, pharmacist, thanks so much, man. You sound like a hustler, man. Still hustling and scraping together money to invest in crypto.
I got so, bro. It's not easy when you're not a dev. Not gonna lie, bro. Not gonna lie.
I feel you.
Metis,
I'm not a
bro,
dev.
I want to ask Metis, how would you feel when, I usually do the market cap calculation. I'm actually onboarding my uncle personally, although he has his own cash, he has his own business. I'm actually trying to get money from him. Like I have made money though, but I use them for real life activities like building my house. I build my own house, my own car, but I'm short on cash right now. Like really short. Let's say I'm not even up to like $5K right now, so something like that. I have some Metis though. I just put them there away in my wallet. And what I want to ask is, how would you feel when the Metis ecosystem actually now worth around like $5 billion, 10 billion dollars, considering the amount of people trying to get on board at this period. And the it's when the next bull run is actually, we're going to break we're gonna be breaking all-time high. Like, we're gonna be breaking all-time highs, and a lot of layer two blockchains like Metis will actually be breaking all-time highs. Like literally every day, every day will tell like billions will be flowing in. How do you think? I know the guy behind here. I would just want to ask you, how would you feel seeing something like that?
Yo, thanks so much for kind of like coming on stage and talking to us. Like it was great, like listening to you, pharmacist. Gotta say it. The O3 Labs. I don't know if you have anything else to say. Kind of like the last question, kind of like that. Yes, I cannot directly address any token or market cap related stuff, so I'm gonna have to hold up on that sense. But O3 Labs.
Oh, boring.
I don't know if you want to add something.
No, yeah, I won't talk about individual projects either, but in terms of like accessibility, there's been a lot of fiat gateways coming to DeFi. MetaMask has a fiat gateway where you can buy with crypto directly to your MetaMask with debit or credit card. I've been bothering the O3 cross-chain wallet developer to add a fiat gateway to O3 cross-chain wallet, so users, if they want to buy crypto on any of the blockchains, including Metis, they'll be able to do so directly from their O3 cross-chain wallets very soon. He told me that the fiat on-ramp would come with one of the next updates for O3 cross-chain wallet. So yeah, and we're continuing building over here, making it more accessible. We're also building a browser extension for O3 cross-chain wallet for Google Chrome in the same way that MetaMask does it. So I agree with you completely when it comes to making DeFi accessible in the same way that like a centralized company makes it accessible via fiat gateways and sort of those Web 2 UI UX structures. We can add that to DeFi while maintaining its decentralized nature, right? I think that's not going to be a problem going forward.
There you have it, O3 Labs. There you have it, my people. So, I really, really do appreciate that response. Like this actually shows that, you guys are actually, real builders, not, degen builders, something like that. So yeah, real builders got real time answers and everything, everything in check. Thank you. Thank you for that answer. I really love it. I really do love it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro. I love your enthusiasm. Are you South African, by the way? I noticed you said CZ or
CZ, no, I'm Nigerian. I'm actually from Nigeria.
Nigerian. Okay,
We're
dope.
hustlers,
Yeah.
hustlers, all
Yeah,
hustlers.
yeah, yeah.
We hustle real good, real hard.
Sweet, sweet. Yeah, we got a couple Nigerian admins in the O3 Labs Discord. So yeah, they're definitely hustlers too.
Congrats to them. Thank you, bro.
Awesome. So okay, I have emoji meta. Emoji meta, you wanna come on?
Yeah, I got one extra question for you guys, because I know almost all the MT projects, they are based on the metadata like the PFP. But how about those projects based on on-chain data? Is it available still doing the MT?
Can you repeat the question? My bad.
Yeah. How about those projects? They had the on-chain database, not like the metadata on somewhere like profile pictures, something like that, like the real on-chain NFT projects. How about those projects? Do you guys know how to do the cross-chain web?
Okay, I think if you're talking about cross chain and NFTs, I think that's more of a question for all three.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the cross-chain data when it comes to maintaining the oracles, and talking about like the supply of and circulating supply of coins on each chain, is in its early stages, and it's not so clear how to address that problem, because even when coins are locked in smart contracts and they're crossing chains, the supply is still going to show like on the settlement layer, whether that's Ethereum or BMG, wherever those tokens are locked in contracts, and a new token is made on the new blockchain, the supply is also going to show on the destination chain and the storage chain. And we've had issues where people think that the supply of O3 coin is extremely high, higher than CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap lists, because our coin is such a cross chain token on so many different chains, and it's difficult to keep that tally and which tokens are in smart contracts and locked away and which tokens are actually circulating. So I think it's a good question, but it's not something that O3 Labs is trying to address right now. I'm sure there are companies trying to address cross-chain data, and but that's just not our project.
And just kind of like jumping in a little bit on that, not cross chain, but I feel like you were also kind of like getting close to kind of like social identity, kind of like that's more of the non-transferable side. But in Metis, we're also going to be kind of like handling the reputation power, which is, I don't know if you all are familiar with soulbound tokens. It's a way of kind of like I went over it a little bit earlier in the space, but it's a way of encouraging and kind of like and rewarding our community, our builders, our contributors, all of them, and giving them a voice for them to be able to vote and kind of like make a choice on what's going on in the ecosystem, as opposed to just giving all the votes to kind of like the whale investors that can dump at any time and don't really have that much skin in the game. So yeah, just kind of like letting that out. Besides that, I think that was our last question. Uh, any of the guys that is up, I don't know if you have any other question. Feel free to do it right now. If not, we would call it a night or a day in the in the case of O3 Labs.
Yeah, we're in Asia. We're in Singapore, so you're right about that. Yeah, I guess we'll
Okay.
call it a day. It's been
Yeah.
sick though. Okay.
O3 Labs. Yeah. Metis, thanks for actually bringing me up. Yeah. I really appreciate. I think most of the things I would have loved to ask or talk about, you guys have actually summarized everything. So I think I'm good and I appreciate. Thanks for giving us this space. Muchly appreciated. O3 Labs. GG to more wins, bro.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank all of you for coming up. Thanks everyone for staying with us. It was a long space, but it was a very entertaining and insightful space. So I hope everyone had a great time. I hope everyone learned something. And till the next time, folks, see you
Yeah.
all.
See you guys next time. Take care.